I know you're probably wondering, what's the difference between independent film and studio films? So, the main difference between independent films and studio films lies in the production and distribution processes, as well as their creative control and financial backing. There are some key distinctions. Financing. Independent films are typically funded through private investors, grants, crowdfunding, personal savings. The budget for independent films is usually much smaller compared to studio films. And I'm going to stop the teleprompter right here to talk about the fact that when we say smaller, we really mean that studio films typically cost $15 to $30 million, whereas indie films, low budget is considered $2 million. For us, I think we're what's considered a ultra low budget, and that's coming in around $500K. I know it's a lot to make an independent film, but it's also, we'll get into that later, because let's just keep going. In contrast, studio films are financed by major film studios or production companies that have substantial financial resources. Creative control. Independent filmmakers often have greater artistic freedom and control over their projects. They can explore unconventional themes, take creative risks, and experiment with storytelling techniques. Studio films, on the other hand, may have more commercial considerations and may be subject to studio mandates or creative inputs from producers and executives. Production scale. Like electrolyte hydrate. Production scale. Independent films are generally made on a smaller scale with limited crew and resources. They often rely on resourcefulness and creativity to bring their vision to life. Studio films have access to larger budgets, allowing for extensive production value, elaborate sets, visual effects, and star-studded casts, although we are all stars on this film. Distribution. Independent films often face challenges in finding distribution channels. They may be screened at festivals, independent theaters, or released through digital platforms or self-distribution methods. Studio films, backed by major studios, have broader distribution capabilities with wide release in cinemas, extensive marketing campaigns, and access to international distribution networks. Market focus. Independent films often target niche or specialized audiences and explore diverse or unconventional narratives. Wow, oh my goodness. They may tackle social issues, personal stories, or experimental genres. Studio films are generally designed to appeal to a wide audience, aiming for box office success, and then often focusing on mainstream genres such as action, comedy, or franchise films. Nothing wrong with those things, it's just we're doing things differently here, aren't we? Yes. Box office performance. Independent films tend to have limited theatrical releases and may not achieve significant box office success. That part makes me cry so much every single time. Their success is often measured by critical acclaim, awards recognition, or their impact on niche audiences. Talking about you, trans, queer, non-binary community. Studio films, with their larger budgets and marketing campaigns, aim for commercial success and higher box office returns. Now, it's important to note that the line between independent and studio films can sometimes blur, as there can be collaborations between independent filmmakers and studios. I know, it's just absolutely crazy and bonkers, this world that we live in. Some independent films may receive distribution deals with major studios. Additionally, the rise of streaming platforms has provided more opportunities for independent filmmakers to reach larger audiences. So, I know you're wondering, how can crowdfunding help independent filmmakers?